All right. So here in this one, we're given a story and some information, and we have to use it to actually create a graph. Okay, so here it says at the top, it's Saturday morning, and you're sad because you don't have school on Saturday, which means you don't get to see Mr. Davis, aka the world's greatest science teacher. That's me. So you and your friends decide to have a fun day so you can get over the pain of not having science class. You come up with the following plan for the day. You are going to go to the beach with your friends and then go to see the movie Mr. Swaggerific starring Mr. Davis. Again, that's me. You and your friends all have new bicycles which you plan to ride. You leave your house at 12 p.m. to meet up with your two best friends. It takes you 20 minutes to get to BFF number one's house, who lives 1 mile away from you. When you get there, BFF number one is not ready because she's always late. So you spend 20 minutes there before you head to BFF number two's house, which is 2 miles away from BFF number one's house, and it takes you 40 minutes to get there. You are only there for 10 minutes, and then you head back to the beach, which is 2 more miles away, and it takes you 10 minutes to get there. You spend 1 hour at the beach, then you go to the movies, which is 3 miles back from the way you came, and it takes you 1 hour to get there. Graph your trip. There's a lot of information in here, but if you take your time and do it one step at a time, you should find it easy. But the first thing we need to do is put our correct scale on our graph. So we know that we left our house at 12 o'clock, so we'll just put that here instead of using a regular origin. So we'll do 12 p.m. in the afternoon. And I think a good scale to use would be to use 10-minute intervals. So we use 10-minute intervals, we'll have 12:10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1 o'clock. Okay, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 2 o'clock. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 3 o'clock. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 4 o'clock. And then 5 o'clock would be here at the end. And over here, the best scale to use would probably be able to use quarter miles. So every 4 blocks would be 1 mile. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1 mile. 1, 2, 3, 2 miles. 1, 2, 3, 3 miles. 1, 2, 3, 4 miles. 1, 2, 3, 5 miles. And so our top point would be 5.5 miles. Okay, so just break it down. And then if I was you, I would cross out information as I go through so you don't get lost. Okay, so it says you leave your house at 12 o'clock to meet your two best friends. Okay, our first thing is that it takes 20 minutes to get to BFF number house. So 20 minutes, okay, and it's 1 mile away. So 20 minutes using 10-minute interval would be 2 blocks over. So 10, 20 minutes, and she lived 1 mile away. So our first plot point would be there, and then it would look like this. Okay, but when we get there, she's not ready. She's always late. But since time doesn't stop and we're not moving, and we're there for 20 minutes and we're not moving means we're not increasing, we're not decreasing. But for that 20 minutes, our speed or our distance we were traveling was 0. We were stationary while we were waiting for her to be ready. Then we go to BFF number two's house, which we say is 2 miles away from BFF number one's house, and it takes 40 minutes to get there. So we need to go 2 miles, and then we need to go 40 minutes and put another point. So if we're 1 mile away right here, 2 miles away would be all the way up to 3, because that's 1 mile to get to here, another mile to get to 3, and then we need to go 40 minutes over because it was 2 miles away and it took 40 minutes to get there. So we go 10, 20, 30, 40 and put a point right there. And we can connect those. Okay, it says we're there for 10 minutes. So we're there for 10 minutes. So for that 10 minutes, we're not getting farther away and we're not getting closer. So we should just have a little line like that because that 10 minutes covers that interval. It says then we go to the beach, which is 2 more miles away, and it takes 10 minutes to get there. So we're going to go 2 miles in 10 minutes. So we're going to be going fairly quick. Okay, so we need to go 2 miles, which would make us leave from here and go up 1 mile, 2 miles, and then 10 minutes over would be right here. So we connect those. And then it says, so now we're at the beach. Okay, and then it says that we spend 1 hour there. Well, you should know that there's 60 minutes in an hour, so we need to go over 6 blocks. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, so then we can connect that. So this is the time that we're at the beach. Okay, it says then we go to the movies. Okay, because we're going to go see that movie. And it's 3 miles back from where we came from, and it takes us an hour to get there. So we're already 5 miles away from where we started, and we go back 3 miles. 5 minus 3 is 2. So we'll come down to here, but it took us another hour to get there. And remember that an hour is 60 minutes, so we need to go over 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and put a dot there. And then we can connect those. And so, okay, that could have been drawn a little bit better. Okay, and so here, this is what the graph should look like. Okay, it's easy if you take it step by step and use your knowledge. Now we should be able to use this graph to answer these questions. It says, what is the average speed for the whole trip? You should know that speed is equal to distance over time by this point. And the total distance we've gone from where we started, okay, and actually, and this will be more of our displacement, okay, and so our distance from where we started, look, we can see that we are 2 miles from where we started, okay, and we're just going to use our, we came back a little bit, but we could say we were 5 and then 8 miles, okay, so we could do that, but yeah, I guess actually let's do that. So we went 5 miles away, but then we came 3 miles back. Okay, so that's a total distance of 11 miles that we traveled. Okay, actually, no, I don't want to do it that way. Let's use our displacement just for simplicity's sake. So the distance we are away from where we started, because we're going to include the time that we were actually standing still and at the beach, we're 2 miles away from where we started. Okay, and the time it took was, well, we left at 12 o'clock, and right now, if you look closely, this is 3 o'clock, 3:10, 20, 30, 40. That's 3 hours and 40 minutes. 40 minutes is 2/3 of an hour, okay? And then 2/3, or a third would be, 2/3 would be 0.66. So 3 hours and 40 minutes would be 3.66 hours, okay? And so if you take your calculator and you do 2 divided by 3.66, okay, it's 0.5. So your average speed over the whole trip, even when including when you're standing still, is 1/2 mile per hour, okay, because we stopped several times. So that's pretty slow. Now, it says the movie starts at 4 p.m. The first thing says, did you arrive in time? Okay, the answer is yes, because we saw before that we got there at 3:40. We were there 20 minutes early. And then it says, what time did you arrive? Yes, okay, we got there at 3:40 p.m. Now, it says, what was your average speed between the beach and the movies? Meaning when we left the beach and the movies. Okay, again, we know that speed equals distance over time. We know that the distance away from the movies was 3 miles. And the time it took us to get there was 1 hour. So between the movies and the beach, we went 3 miles per hour, because 3 divided by 1 is 3. All right. Here it says, during your trip, when was your average speed the fastest? Okay, so then we just look to see when our slope was the steepest, and it's actually right here between BFF number 2's house and the beach, because you can see how steep the line is right there. It says, what was your speed, but they want it in miles per minute. Okay, so our speed equals distance over time. The distance between BFF number 2's house and the beach, we already know from reading the thing, was 2 miles. And it took us only 10 minutes to get there. Okay, so you can break this down to, you reduce this, you'll get 1/5. So that's 1/5 of a mile per minute. Okay, because that's in miles per minute, because 2 divided by 10 is like 1/5. So you can just leave it that way. And then it says at 1 p.m., how far are you from your house? Well, here's 1 o'clock. Okay, and if we go from 1 o'clock to here, we can see that we were about 2 miles from our house at 1 o'clock, because that's where, even though we're in between BFF number 1's house and BFF number 2's house, at about 1 o'clock exactly, we were about 2 miles from our house. So that's the sheet. Hopefully, if you did everything and learned everything you're supposed to, you would have been able to get all that on your own. And if not, hopefully you have it now.